G'day watchers, welcome to Perth Watch, your horology channel right here in Perth, Western Australia. Today I have a prototype piece from Axios watches. Now Axios is a brand I've reviewed a couple of pieces from, and they're pretty good. You know, they really know what they are doing. They are people who used to run Zelos or came from Zelos, I believe. So, you know, they really pack quality and design into your pieces, or at least a lot of good experience goes into it. This is their latest piece, going to launch on Kickstarter very soon. You know, a little bit grippy, so that's probably only a 2.5, I reckon, on spin rating for this packaging. Very practical, right? Leather watch holder. You know, you can potentially put 2 watches in here, but of course, I am reviewing this piece today. So guys, this is the Axios Tribune 38. Now 38 meaning, of course, 38mm. It's an automatic dress style watch. Now this will be launching on Kickstarter, as I said. I believe the first tier price will be around 339 USD, with the second tier slightly higher up at 369 USD. They are likely to go for an MSRP, I've been advised, at around $499. Okay, so that's the kind of price ranges that you're going to be expecting. Now, in terms of colorways, this is the two-tone version, right? Kind of this Art Deco style dial here. They will have a number of different options, including a forged carbon dial, which looks pretty cool, a gold version, a salmon version, as well as a gray version when this comes up fully. Now, first up, of course, I like to talk about the movement. So the movement here is a Miyota 9000 series. Now, the one in this particular prototype is a 90S5, meaning it has an open heart, but they're not making use of that. So for production, I've been told that they will be going for the 9039. You've probably seen this movement before. All the stats down the left of screen here. It's a no-date movement. Rated accuracy, as you can see. This prototype actually regulated extremely well. It's running about +2 seconds per day in the 3 or 4 days that I have had this running non-stop so far. Okay, moving on to the case then. Now, what we have here is a 38mm case, as the name suggests. The height is a fairly slim 10.2mm to the top of that box crystal there. Between lugs is 20mm, with a lug-to-lug distance which is modest. You know, it's a 38mm watch, so this is a 46mm lug width between my thumbs. I know it's something that a lot of people, a lot of men, just about anybody I know can carry this, and a lot of women I know can carry this without problem as well. Overall weight also very comfortable at only 68 grams on this leather strap setup here. Finishing wise, we're looking at a circular brush bezel on the top, horizontal brushing on the side, and then circular brushing including the underside of the lugs, as well as that solid case back on the bottom. There is a very thin polish side of that bezel surface, probably a little bit hard for me to demonstrate. Hopefully you can see that there's a polished rim there, and then of course that twisting there is a polish on those Omega style lugs. Okay, now moving on to construction, there is a screw down solid case back. You've seen it, and that's a very nice engraving of what is a civic crown. Now that is a nod, of course, to ancient Rome, which is what Axios tend to do with a lot of their pieces. You know, they kind of homage things from ancient Rome, or at least a lot of their pieces have done, including the name Axios as well, if you want to look that up. So a solid screw down case back is a push sign crown, a fairly large crown, very easy to operate on this thin case here. Water rating on this dress style watch is 50 meters, and I don't mind it that they've done 50 meters for a dress type watch, meaning that you won't take this underwater. Even if you swap out the straps for something waterproof, I wouldn't be taking this swimming. I'd be very, very hesitant to do that with this type of construction. Right, moving on to the dial now. So what we have here is a dual tone, dual textured dial, right? It's got quite a granular, almost sandpapery surface on the middle section there. and also a ring of that same color and texture around the outside of that. And then intervening between those, there are flatter segments of a slightly different tone. Now, the other colorways will have this in the same tone if you want to check those out. There is a raised Axios and a raised Tribune in the center segment, but otherwise on the side, there are printed compass numbers as well as a railroad style chapter ring around the side and sector divisions around that inner flat section there. I think a lot of people have called this a sector dial. I believe this is what it is, but you know, sector dials, you can kind of do it any way you want, really. Not sure if it really harkens to any particular era of watchmaking specifically, but it does have a little bit of a vintage feel, I reckon. The hands are black PVD leaf style with a simple sticks for the seconds. There is no loom on this dress style watch, which I don't mind that they've done a no loom on this. A lot of dress watches properly don't actually have loom. Right, moving on to the top of the dial then, it is a very lightly domed, lightly boxed sapphire crystal. I like that they've actually thought about that. It's not a grossly boxed sapphire like some other, you know, more military style watches might have. This is a dress style watch. You don't want that doming up too far, and it is actually pretty nicely done. I do like the level of doming that they've done here. And that's the case. Let's move on to the strap now. So what we have here is just a simple, it is Horology leather. Okay, hopefully you can see that there. So Horology leather, genuine leather strap with accent stitching. So stitching close to the case here and then, you know, at the tip here. And just simple brush hardware. Nothing much to write home about, really, I reckon, this particular strap. And that's the description, guys. Now let's just slap it on the wrist for a wrist shot for you guys now. And there we go, the Axios Tribune 38 on my 17 centimeter wrist. And as I say, I reckon, you know, every guy I know can carry this off because it is such a nice vintage size, just 38 millimeters, 46 millimeter lug to lug width, and a height of only 10.2. Very slim, definitely fits the dress style, you know, design motif that they are going for here. And that's the leather strap. Okay, that's the entire description and wrist shot of the watch, guys. What have I enjoyed about this? Now, I do think that this overall is a really quite attractive package with a lot of all-world charm. That's really what they're going for here. Many thoughtful details, you know, the 38 millimeter case, I appreciate they've gone for that smaller size rather than, you know, so many people going for 40, maybe even 41 these days on dress watches. I like the feel of this Art Deco sector type of dial. You know, it's not supremely detailed, right? It is printed. There's nothing particularly applied, but hey, it is something that is quite attractive. It's quite different, and I appreciate that they've done that. The differential textures on the dial, that does take some work. And, you know, in terms of casework, well, you know, those Omega style twisted lugs, that's pretty well done. You know, good on them for doing that. Some people have called this an Aquaterra case. No, I don't think it's exactly the same. Aquaterra, if you look at the textures and where the lugs run, no, it's definitely quite different, but I can see that they've taken perhaps some inspiration from that. I like the fact that the crown is large and very easy to operate because the case is so slim. This crown really, you know, proportionally very easy to twist. Some people might not like that actually on a dress style watch, but I appreciate it. You know, the little references like the Roman civic crown here, you know, really quite nicely done, as well as the choice of that light dome on that crystal there. You know, good thoughtfulness that has gone into a lot of these details, I feel. Overall, this is a solid packaging, and it has achieved that, what I reckon is a holy grail of micro brands, right? It's something original. It's not homaging everything at all. So good on Axios for coming up with something original. Very well done finishing, I have to say, on this case. Miyota 9000 movement, and they are going for a no date, so there's no ghost date position. Good on them for choosing that. I always like that, and a lot of people hate it when there is a ghost date position on a no date watch. And, you know, getting that nicely domed sapphire crystal. What are the weaknesses? Not much to say. Not much to say at all. I really think this is quite a well done package. If you're looking for a micro brand dress style watch, I would say the strap is possibly a bit weak. It is whole wing leather, so that does have a name behind it, but certainly not a strap I'll be writing home about any time. And the full MSRP is concerning. I don't think this will move at all at a full MSRP, particularly looking at other things you can get for 500 USD. Probably closer to the early bird Kickstarter price is what they need to move this at. That's really what I feel about this watch. Right, there you go. That's my thoughts about the Axios Tribune 38. Let's flip it around now for the wrap up. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that quick fire review. Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Always look forward to the discussion from my viewers. Guys, if you enjoy my videos, do consider subscribing. New content every week, always aiming to be objective and unbiased about all things horology. Thank you again for sticking with me, and as always, I'll catch you guys again next time.